Action!
Taking Tren or EQ, man, that shit's for cows and horses, dude. The look is sick.
Yeah.
Look is sick, bro. Tren bologna sandwich.
Let's go, baby.
I am not natural. What's up, boys? So this video is simply for education and transparency on what medications I've experimented on myself to gain cognitive, health, and wellness benefits, all while building my physique. About all of these are prescribed to me by my HRT clinic, Transcend HRT, apart from a couple medications and SARMs that I've used in the past but I'm not using now that I mentioned in the end of my video. I advise you guys to do your own research and check your blood markers through blood tests before starting any of these medications. So the first supplement I take, obviously, HRT, TRT clinic, is testosterone cypionate. I get this from HRT, from Transcend, my HRT company, and it's got a density of about 200 milligrams per milliliter, and I dose this at about 150 milligrams per week. That I've seen in my blood markers to give me a pretty high normal level of total and free test, which is great, obviously. If I add HCG on top of that, then my test is probably going to increase a little bit. It's possible for you to get a little bit of estrogenic side effects when you're adding HCG on top of that and stuff. But obviously we got to play around with the dosage, because as you continue to take tests over a long period of time, then you start building a tiny little bit of tolerance. Occasionally, men will have to slowly up their dosage over, the period of years, because they'll start building a slight tolerance. It's not really too big of an increase to whenever they have to increase the dosage, and it doesn't really make any difference. It's just a tolerance. In addition to the test tip, I'm taking HCG, which I started to upkeep my fertility and ensure that I don't become infertile later down the road. HCG is incredibly effective, and I am cycling it at the moment. I'm currently taking 500 IUs twice a week for a cycle of about 12 weeks. I plan to cycle this about every 3 to 5 months for a period of about 3 months each time. And I've heard a lot of successful stories from men who have not even taken HCG throughout their TRT, maybe sometimes up to 7 years or even more, from a personal story. And when they did finally decide to, have a baby, they started taking HCG and wham, they got a child, which is pretty crazy, because after years of taking tests, you'd be a little bit worried of your fertility without taking HCG throughout that time, but no. So that's a great thing, and I'm cycling it just to make sure that I'm not going to be that small tiny percentage of being infertile. I think they say something like if you're doing TRT or test and then probably not using HCG at all, then your chances of being infertile could be like, I can't quite remember, so don't quote me on this, maybe it was like 15 to 30%, but obviously if you do HCG, then the percentage is drastically decreased, which is sick. When HCG is taken alongside TRT, the dosages of TRT are normally slightly decreased to prevent any extra estrogenic side effects, because I'm assuming that a free test maybe will increase slightly when you are doing HCG alongside TRT, and thus obviously that's also going to slightly raise your estrogen, and in doing so potentially get things like gynecomastia, water retention, any other estrogenic side effects, expressive mood and emotions. So I think so I most likely might lower my TRT a little bit depending on how I feel, but so far I feel pretty good. And the for example, one example or recommendation is that if you're taking about like 150 milligrams per week of TRT or testosterone, then you lower it to about 120 milligrams per week when you're doing HCG alongside that. So I'm also taking testosterone and ipamorelin, which are both growth hormone secretagogues. Secretagogue. Bro, secretagogue. Secretagogue. Which basically means that they will boost and increase your growth hormone, at least to the high end of the reference range. So testosterone induces lipodystrophy, which is reducing excess stomach fat. Since it does increase growth hormone, I've noticed a slight increase in water weight as well as better sleep. Now, ipamorelin does similar things to Tessa, except that it doesn't really target excess stomach fat. It does reduce overall body fat. It also increases bone strength and muscle strength and mass as well. Helps repair joints and ligaments, and helps improve skin and energy as well. BPC 157, which is a gut and musculoskeletal healing and recovery enhancing peptide. BPC works in tandem with growth hormone secretagogues because it can also upregulate the growth hormone receptors. I actually broke my fibula about like 6 weeks ago, and I injected this straight into my calf Did not feel good, dude. I noticed what I believe to be a faster rate of recovery, especially considering that my break was a big one. That was a clean one. Definitely not a fracture. It's only been like 6 weeks or so since my break, and I've been able to jump back into leg day the last couple weeks, which is pretty sick. Still can't use my calf, but I've seen around that the average recovery time for a broken fibula should take about 6 to 8 weeks. But considering it's only been about 6 weeks and I've been able to jump back into leg day the last couple weeks or so, still not able to use my calf quite yet. But I can do leg extensions, I can do hamstring curls, I can even squat. I can't squat quite up to what I used to be able to squat before. At one point I was doing 405 for 8 reps. Now, before my break, I think I was doing 405 for about 6 to 7 reps. Right now I'm hitting 315 for about 8 to 12 reps. So like my strength is slowly coming back, especially, 305 for 12 reps is close to probably being able to do 405 for like 6 to 7 to 8. But it's not quite there yet, and I can't really quite load 405 pounds on my leg. But, 6 weeks of doing leg day, I'm taking about 400 to 500 micrograms every day. In addition to BPC, I'm also taking thymosin beta-4, which is also known as TB500, which is another healing and recovery peptide. It's even more expensive than BPC is, and honestly, it's kind of hard to tell whether or not it contributed to my recovery or not. But considering the rate of recovery that I experienced compared to standard rates of recovery, I think it helped a little bit. Do your research, and if you think it's worth taking for the price, then go ahead. I've also taken MK677, which is also known as ibutamorin. It's one that I'm not taking at the moment, but I've had a lot of experience taking, and I plan to take it again sometime in the future, prescribed by HRT or prescribed by Transcend. I've used this and found great benefits to my sleep, hair growth, skin, and recovery. It did increase my hunger a small amount because it increases ghrelin, and it also increased my water weight a little bit, which wasn't, what was wanted. I like to keep my physique fairly dry and fairly lean looking, but the water was both subcutaneous and intramuscular, so I would come in the gym looking more full, which, for some people can be a good benefit. The increased water retention, in my opinion, also helps with pumps in your gym session. From the research, it appears that MK should be cycled as well. RU58841, which is a topical just like finasteride or minoxidil, if you guys have ever heard of that. It's used to block DHT on the scalp to prevent male pattern baldness, and I apply about 1 milliliter of this every day to my scalp. Masteron. I've used this in the past, and I'm currently taking a low dosage cycle alongside my TRT and HCG. It's been said that it can act as a TRT and HRT add-on alongside. Woo, shit. What's up? How's it going, dude? What's up? How you been? Yeah. How's your client stuff today?
Started at 6 in the morning.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was staying until 6:30.
Bro, that's nuts, dude. I've just finally been able to start waking up at 9:30.
Setup, baby.
I know, right?
Sick.
Yeah, like I was saying, it's been said that Masteron can act as a low dosage add-on to TRT and HRT, especially since if there is like higher estrogenic side effects, then Masteron can act as a aromatase inhibitor. It'll decrease any high estrogen levels that are over the high end of the reference range. This is just a play.
The figment of your imagination.
If you're a cop, this is a figment of your imagination.
I'm acting.
Oh shit. Just kidding. I'm doing everything legal. Yeah, right now I'm taking about 200 milligrams per week, which I might increase further down the cycle depending on, how my effects are feeling. Currently, I think my estrogen's like perfect right now. It does dry you out. Reduces your subcutaneous water weight, so then you can come into the gym looking a little bit more shredded, a little bit more dry. It can help keep your fullness, especially after taking it for a few weeks. If you're taking enanthate, it's probably going to take a lot longer. If you're taking propionate or prop, then it'll probably you'll probably see the effects sooner than later, like maybe in the first 3 weeks or something. It is a DHT derivative, so it can increase genetic male pattern baldness, which unfortunately is going to be your hair falling out, like kind of in this back of the head kind of area. Yeah. Masteron, bro.
Masteron, that's the hair off.
It's worth the shreds. So I said this in my last Am I Natty video, but I'm currently not interested in high dose blasts at the moment, since my main concern right now is wellness, mental health, and longevity, and my physique and shreds come in second to that. One that I'm super interested in and excited about is Dehexa, which is a strong nootropic that can have recovery. I felt a little bit of laser focus, the day that I took it.
Yeah.
There's a potential side effect that you can be a little bit more distracted. You might have a little bit more distractibility, but things like verbal fluency and communication is just I kind of felt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sick. But I'm also taking a fuck ton of nootropics with that, like in my supplement stack.
Yeah,
Like,
Lion's Mane's
yeah, I'm taking the Lion's Mane, I'm taking the Alpha Brain. I took like half a dose of the Alpha Brain Black Label today.
I love the canister.
Oh yeah, I know, the canister's sick, dude.
The Hexa accelerates wound healing?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it can accelerate wound healing. So apparently the guy who created D-Hexa, I guess he spilled some, like in the liquid form, on one of his wounds.
Yeah.
Right? And then he, I think there was a slight notice in like wound recovery, but like he spilled so much that he started having like intense like ADD or something, like crazy distractibility, and I don't know, some other crazy fucking side effects. But bro, yeah, all these fucking lab scientists are insane, bro. They're all just trying to turn green, baby. Oh, let's go.
It also happened to LSD.
Huh?
The guy invented LSD.
No, what happened?
Yeah, he dropped on the skin and on the right because he was trying to find a derivative of ergot, which is
Yeah.
like a fungus.
Okay.
That was, it's like a psychedelic, but it would kill people. So
Oh,
he was trying
shit.
he was trying to isolate it to where it didn't kill people, and he dropped that on his skin, and it's so potent because it's micrograms, right?
Yeah.
So he dropped it on the skin, he started tripping out, and he's driving home, or he's riding his bike home.
Yeah.
And he's just tripping, dude. And he's like, what? He literally invented LSD.
That's
Same
lit.
thing, dropped on the skin, he was just like,
Try talking.
Check, check, check. 1 2 1 2 1
Check,
2.
bitch, check. My water weight fucking blew the fuck up.
did it?
Yeah.
Are you gonna stop it?
No, I'm gonna keep going. I'll see if my water weight reduces a little bit.
Yeah.
But-
well, you know, HGH also increases insulin sensitivity,
Right.
which could be some component to that.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think so too. I started high carbing as well.
Yeah.
So a combination of the high carbs plus the growth hormone secretagogue definitely made a
yeah, it's one
huge
punch.
impact for sure. Shit's fire. Oxy shred in the can, baby. Inject this straight into the hamstrings. Yeah, D-Hexa is one I'm super interested and excited about using because it's a strong nootropic, and I wanted to start it for its cognitive benefits. But it can also apparently potentially accelerate wound healing, which is interesting. In lab experiments, it was found to be 7 times more powerful than endogenous brain-derived nootropic factor, BDNF, which is awesome, fucking sick. Nathan was actually telling me about this cool thing before about
Yeah.
BDNF, right? What was it?
So BDNF is basically dubbed like the miracle grow of your brain. It's really responsible for like neural networks and being able to entrench new behaviors. So there's certain stacks you can take. Dihexia might be one of them for sure. There's one you could take with lion's mane, niacin, and can I say psilocybin mushrooms? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, and psilocybin mushrooms. It's a stack to increase BDNF. The psilocybin's microdose to the point where there's no tangible feeling of it, but it still has its benefits. There's plenty of stuff like that to take. Nootropics is definitely a new field that's still being researched, but there's a lot of potential in it.
So I was prescribed about 30 milligrams a day from Transcend HRT, which I've seen to actually be a high dose. I've seen online that the standard dose is about 10 to 20 milligrams per day. So I was a little bit concerned about the dosage, but I've also seen online that with rats, when it was injected, either IV or IP, the half-life was about 8 to 12 days. So I'm not really quite sure how that translates to taking it orally. I think the potential might be somewhere similar, but say that the half-life is like about a week, I think it's safe to say that I could dose this orally about every other day. So if I'm taking D-Hexa 30 milligrams every other day, then hopefully that can translate to something like 15 milligrams ED. The reason that I don't want to take a full 30 milligrams is because the side effects right now for the long term, like if you're using it in longevity over a long period of time, the side effects are still somewhat unknown. So what I've seen is it's most effective in restoring mental agility, especially for those who have had cognitive impairment from things such as like severe depression. And if you are a healthy individual, then it may not be potentially worth the long-term side effects to use. Problem-solving skills and verbal fluency, as well as mitigating feelings of depression, but unfortunately can also potentially increase distractibility. So I guess that's an interesting thing. I guess when you're trying to do your work, it's easier to get distracted, but when you are focused and when you are tuned into your flow state, then your flow and, you know, your fluency is just drastically improved. Primobolan, baby. Yeah. It's an AAS medication that I have used in the past, but I'm not currently taking anymore. But it is known in the forums as the rich man's side effect free tren. Sick. I don't ever plan on taking tren or EQ, man. That shit's for cows and horses, dude. The look is sick.
Yeah.
Look is sick, bro. Tren bologna sandwich.
Very sick.
The mentals? Yeah, no, dude. Literally, like, no sleep, fucking sweats out your ass. Yeah. Then all the acne like and side effects. Actually feel like a cow, bro. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's worth the long-term side effects. I don't think so.
Yeah, no chance.
So I'd say that Primo is the main substance that I used in my cycle to build, I would say, my most optimal physique. The best physique that you guys have seen in, like, my best reels. Posting right here. I think I was dosing at about 300 to 350 per week. I don't quite remember. My physique was definitely tuned in because I was like right on top of my diet, and also whenever I took my videos, you know, I would low carb it throughout the week and then dehydrate myself slightly before taking my, you know, my videos and my film day, and then on film day and before film day I would carb up, and that would give me that really full look. So that plus the Primo is kind of what gave me that physique. Plus I think I'm a slight hyper responder to PEDs, especially, you know, things like Primo and Test, because I am small, you know, I'm 5'7.5" to 5'8", and I've noticed that Filipinos and, you know, Asians like me with dark skin tend to have a higher sensitivity to like food, carbs, and like just medications and drugs whatsoever, or altogether, which is something pretty interesting. Yeah. Except, and then there's Nathan, who's like, I don't know, you're like, what, a quarter or a half Filipino?
Quarter, yeah.
You're quarter Filipino?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
it's just cosmetic.
Nathan's got to take big ass fucking dosages of shit. Yeah. But he looks like a fucking monster. I've cycled off this for a bit, but when I was on it, it felt super mild. But there was like no side effects. Literally didn't feel or notice any side effects whatsoever, if any. So
yeah, Primobolan's pretty benign.
Yeah.
What's good about it is it's so mild that the side effects are also fairly mild. Something to consider though is Primobolan's a very expensive compound. A lot of underground labs, they might cut it with something that is not Primobolan just to save some cash. It's hard to get. Primobolan in itself, like I said, it's very benign. It also acts as a slight AI, so it does do estrogen control to some extent. It should be used as an AI protocol, but it does have that variable. And the gains, you can't really expect something crazy from it, but at the same time, like I said, the side effects, you can't expect anything crazy from either. So it's kind of a good risk reward to that.
So two androgens that I was using back when I was competing back in 2019, but I don't touch now, is halotestin and Winstrol.
You did Halo?
Yeah, I did Halo. Yeah, Halo's strong as
Halo's
fuck, bro.
Gnarly, man.
Yeah, that shit's gnarly.
Yeah, did you use a pre-workout?
Well, so here's the thing. You know, I said this in my like Emma Natty video, but I wasn't intending to use these. Like, I wasn't intending to use Halo. One of my coaches at the time was trying to push me to take orals and take steroids, and I didn't want to take any at all. And then finally I failed like my 6th show, or like I failed like my 4th national show or something like that. Like, sorry, I say failed, but like basically I got like 16th place plus, which basically means I didn't place, and like that just made me really depressed. And so finally I just said like, okay, I'll take this, whatever it is that you have, I'll just fucking take it, because that's the mentality of like young kids and bodybuilders these days.
Yeah.
Is that like, bro, I just want to be fucking jacked and I want to be the best in the world, so I'm just going to do whatever without really doing the research first, doing the hours, the days, the weeks of research that you should be doing to figure out these substances and what it could really do to you in the long run before taking them. And so I had that same mentality. I just took these orals. He said some of them were estrogen blockers and stuff, and I'm like, all right, well, these can't really be like steroids because I'm not injecting them, right? Yeah, but like one of them is halotestin, and that's like one of the fucking strongest that's one of the strongest steroids, that you can actually take. And so yeah, dude, I was running just orals for like a year plus to like compete in these shows, and obviously mad testosterone suppression, you know, loss of drive, everything that you happen from low T. So I wasn't taking any proper ancillary supplements at the time to maintain good, healthy biomarkers. So that shit trashed my lipids and skyrocketed my liver enzymes.
This is just something to really consider. So when you get into something like PED use, I mean, it really does add an extra variable of complication to your life. It sets the ceiling up higher, definitely, but at the same time, there's a lot of things to consider. In terms of education, learning how to actually read your blood levels, learning how to read certain biomarkers. It goes a long ways, not only for your health, but also for your own sanity. There's a lot of ways that things can go wrong, and it's very important to keep that in mind.
So these 2 androgens dried me the fuck out. Like, I looked shredded for my show, came in hard, came in full, showing pictures like right here. But stuff was just not worth it in the long run, and it's something that I'll just not touch right now, especially considering, like I said earlier, that my main focus and concern now is my mental health, wellness, and longevity over my physique. And yeah, it was because of my irresponsibility with these 2 supplements and not realizing what it would do to me is why I just had this terrible, essentially permanent suppression of my testosterone. Even after trying HCG, could not boost it back up to any normal ranges. And I was just like, you know what? I love bodybuilding, I love lifting, and I want to feel good again, so it's time for me to just get over my fear of needles and start jumping on HRT and testosterone. Which luckily saved my life, but still, it's not something worth, and it's not something you should just do and jump into at a young age. Yeah. GW501516, which is Cardarine. I have not used this in a while, but I have used this in the past. I've mostly used this for cardiovascular benefits, though it also helps with lipolysis, which is fat burning, glucose tolerance, insulin sensitivity, and lipid balance.
Yeah, so Cardarine is something to really consider, though. In rodent models, there has been shows of cancer popping up when paired with a carcinogen. It's really something that scared a lot of pharmaceutical companies getting their hands into this. There are a lot of positives, but at the same time, it's something that is seriously to be considered. The dosing was a lot higher than what you would take on a human-to-human basis, but at the same time, there's a reason the pharmaceutical companies didn't want to get into it. And it's things like that that's really important just to take into, read the medical literature, make sure you know what you're doing, make sure you know what's getting put into your body, and weighing out the risk and rewards.
Yeah, right. A lot of the research has shown that like there is a potential for cancer to be grown after a long period of time. Obviously, these dosages given to rats were very, very high dosages daily for a long, long period of time, not being cycled, like very, very high dosages, but still, the potential is still there, right? So just be aware, just be mindful if you do want to take it or anything. So one that I plan to take from my HRT clinic, Transcend, is DHEA and pregnenolone, but I don't think I'm going to be taking it again anymore for like a little bit. I think for a few years at least till I reach maybe the age of 30 or so. But I was really interested in doing it for some time. DHEA and all this stuff, it's already like created in your body, and I'm pretty sure at my age I already have good levels of it, which is why I don't really plan on taking it right now, but those levels will decrease over time starting around age 30. So DHEA is an anti-stress hormone that can reverse the effects of stress on the immune system, improve mood, and act as an antidepressant. It can also improve memory, energy, and stamina. So I've seen in the literature that it's dosed at about 25 to 200 milligrams per day, which is good considering that the dosages that they've suggested and they've prescribed is 25 milligrams of DHEA and 25 milligrams of pregnenolone. So that's the lower end, and I think that would be honestly better safe than going a full, high dosage, because I do believe that taking something like this could potentially affect. Our fucking mic died! God damn it! Dude, we literally had I think we had 35 minutes recorded, and it quit at 20 to 25 minutes in. Yeah, we had 15 minutes of talking that just weren't even recorded, man. I'm fucking depressed. But first, we're gonna make a protein shake because I missed my protein meal. I'm 2-3 hours late, so I'm so catabolic right now, bro. It's not even funny.
Because I'm a savage.
We're gonna make some chicken and salmon, but we gotta make this video.
The sacrifices we make.
Sacrifices. Just gonna drink some ISO packs, baby.
Yeah.
Inject this isopep straight into the hamstring.
Straight anabolic gains. Let's go. Check that pharmacy out.
Bro, so many supplements, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna do a video about this. I'm gonna do a video about this soon. Yeah, video of all the supplements. Cycle support supplements, bodybuilding fitness supplements, cognitive and nootropics and shit. Yeah. Get some blast boosters. I'm gonna take 5 of these grass-fed beef organs. Not for vegans. Sorry, if you guys are vegans, you don't need to take this, but there are a lot of benefits to beef organs.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
Kidney support, astragalus root, garlic. Garlic's good for your stomach. It's a good protective.
Check.
Alright.
Oh, bro, this deal I saved just fucked us up.
I know, dude. So luckily Transcend is dosed at 25 milligrams, and it's the lower end because, you know, research literature says that it's dosed around 25 to 200 milligrams. So I think dose at the lower end would be a safer bet, considering, you know, if you already have a good production of DHEA, maybe it's not optimal. I do believe that there's a potential that it may suppress your level, which is why I also think it's wise to probably take this supplement after the age of 30, potentially when your DHEA is actually degrading. If you're at a younger age, say that you're in your 20s, then I think maybe taking DHEA might not be so beneficial to you. And then pregnenolone is a steroid hormone that plays a key role in the production of other hormones such as DHEA, testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone. Aside from the ones I've mentioned, I haven't had any other experience with any other SARMs, but I do take testosterone, baby. Yeah. Let's go. Not a medication. It's not prescribed either. Testosterone is just like a legal supplement that you can take. I was gonna mention this in my supplement video that I'll talk about, since it's not really medication, but I thought I'd mention it here because testosterone is pretty sick.
Yeah.
Insects?
Yeah, it's from arthropods.
That's pretty sick.
It's actually one of the only real supplements that are legal that works. In the supplement industry, there is a lot of misguidance. There's a lot of hype on muscle building capabilities and performance. It's money driven, obviously, but testosterone is one of the only things that do work. It doesn't suppress your natural testosterone. It isn't a steroid. It's just a great thing to take. It's not liver toxic.
I've seen in the literature there are a lot of benefits to testosterone. I think it may be more beneficial for you if you are not running HRT or TRT, because testosterone, one of the aspects of it is that it will help increase your natural test production. But if you are on HRT or TRT, I think there is some potential benefits to taking it still. So as I said before, I would do your research before delving into any of these medications. There is a lot of good research out there regarding the mass benefits of these medications, but just like any medications that you can get from your doctor, there are the potential uncommon side effects. And I think these are important to look into. So look at albuterol inhalers for asthma, for example, commonly referred to as rescue inhalers. This is a beta agonist medication that is vastly used, man. Super important for people who have asthma. But just like any other medications, there are potential uncommon side effects. These side effects include increased heart rate and heart palpitations, especially when used at high dosages. And it can also cause issues with blood sugar management if you have diabetes.
It's important to realize that we do live in an information age. Everything is at the reach of our fingertips. So any information that you need to look for, it's really the responsibility to yourself to look for it. It's just a matter of where to look. Especially in the fitness industry, I mean, there's a lot of misguidance in terms of PED use that kind of creates a confusion across a lot of people that just really want to know what's going on, what people are taking to prevent certain side effects. And it's very important to realize to do your own research, look at the scientific literature, and decide if it's a choice you want to make. Earthquake!
So there are a lot of ancillary supplements that I believe should be taken with these medications, especially if you want to maintain good and healthy biomarkers. And I will talk about all these supplements and supplements that I take in the next video, including cycle support supplements, bodybuilding and fitness supplements, mental health and wellness supplements, as well as cognitive and nootropic supplements as well. But yeah, guys, that is fucking everything, boys. So thanks for watching, guys. If you guys want to sign up for my HRT clinic Transcend, which is where I get these medications prescribed, then you guys can sign up by clicking the link below in the description. That is my reference link. All you guys got to do is sign up and fill out the form, and they will contact you as soon as possible. It's It's an amazing HRT clinic. You can get your blood work done with them so you can check your biomarkers, make sure that you're healthy and you're well. Check whether or not you do have low T and that you may qualify for HRT or TRT, and if you're interested in delving into that. And then also, if you'd be interested in using any of these other supplements or peptides, then you can also consult with them and see if it would be right for you. Check out my sick swag, the swag I always wear. It's Young LA. You guys can use my code Nyle for a big ass discount off of that. Plus also just letting you guys know, code Nyle, code Nyle10 for EHP Labs, all the codes that you use are literally the reason that I can continue to do this. Like, I barely get paid anything for YouTube, man. Like, literally just using these codes, like code Nyle and code Nyle10, is what keeps me going and allow me to like create this content for you guys. Like, it literally takes me 3 days or more to make each video. It took me 3 days to make this video, 1 day of shooting, as well as 2 days of editing. And that entire time, you know, nothing is being made unless you guys are supporting me. So I really appreciate you guys supporting me, and I wouldn't be here without it. But they have sick new drops, like 2 drops every single month, as well as like 2 restocks every month as well, with a bunch of new styles and new clothes every single time, both streetwear and fitness wear. And then also my supplement brand EHP Labs is the supplement I use, and you guys can use Nyle10 to support me and get yourself a discount off of that as well. So yeah, if you guys have anything that you guys want to see, if there's anything that you're interested in seeing in the future, please comment it below. I might be doing a Q&A too, so if you guys have any questions, then please ask below as well. Anything that you might be interested in seeing, I'm most likely going to shoot out like a nutrition video and show like what kind of, how I eat my food and how I follow my diet as well. And then I'll be coming out with that supplement video here soon too. So if you guys are interested in anything, please let me know. Thanks for watching, boys.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Chew the clip.
Let's go.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, so Nathan and I were literally just talking about how we really believe it's smart for people, like we really believe it's smart for kids these days not to start early. Like, I think it's absolutely pertinent that if you want to build a massive and an aesthetic physique, that you got to build a big, strong foundation off of your natural tests and what you have now, because you only have so many blasts in the tank, man.
Yeah.
Like, you only have so much that you can, like, you're going to build a tolerance to these substances, and every time you use them, you build more side effects, more things change about your body, and you want to decrease that as much as possible, but reach your potential as soon as you can with the least side effects. And if you start early, you're gonna have a small foundation, and you're gonna get all those side effects sooner than later. Yep. Which means you're gonna look worse. Yeah. So you guys, like he and I, like we lifted for years, bro. I lifted for like 10 years before I even started touching anything.
Beyond
like,
that,
this guy was in football the entire time.
Yeah, beyond that, for bone density, joint tendon strength, I mean, that's stuff that doesn't necessarily grow with PED use. So when your musculature goes up, I mean, that's kind of going to set you up for injury. And mind muscle connection too, you know, when you work out for 10 years natural and you're building it the slow and steady way, it really gives you a chance to be able to recruit your muscles correctly without just putting on the nitro full throttle.
Yeah, so build your foundation, boys. It was real COVID, guys. Yeah. Real COVID. Yeah, it's gonna be really close. Ooh. You should try this on. Show people how sick it looks on you.
This is so fucking
This is so fucking cute.
Oh my gosh! I might need to try the large though.
The large? You can give Julie the medium. She's small anyways. Yeah, boys. So, Young LA's got a new fucking drop coming out on the 12th, which is in like 5 days from now. Wait, so I'm going to post this video on Friday, which means I think it's going to be, yeah, the 7th. So I think it's going to be 5 days from when I post it. But this drop is pretty sick. I just wanted to show you guys before you leave what the clothes look like. But this is like a super fluffy, furry hoodie. This is dope. I got an XXL. Fire, bro. Fire! Get your ass over here.
I would not want to wear with these shorts though.
It looks cute.
I need like some spandex.
No, it's okay. I'll wear spandex another time. People can imagine it with spandex. I think it looks pretty cute on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Young lady's fucking coming out with, it's like, just, even girls can wear their shit. It looks sick. They're killing it.
They are. There's
Yeah.
a nice little zipper in there too.
Comfy swag, bruh. Fuck. It's so soft though. It's actually the softest fucking thing in the universe. Fire.
This is nice.
Yeah, you look good. You look good. Alright. And
This is
there's some
not-
other stuff that's coming out, but you guys can look on the site, you'll see. It's pretty sick. Tons of good shit.
I'm gonna try this